Hi there, this is Trev. This is a brief video on loss and overcoming loss. This week's been particularly hard for me. I've had to put down my 15-year-old cat and I've lost my grandma, so I thought it'd be a good time to actually do a video on loss. There's actually 5 stages of loss, which I don't know if people are aware of. And the 5 stages of loss are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. So I just thought I'd talk a little bit through each one. For me, with my cat, she was 15 years old, and it came to a point where she had a tumour in her mouth, and it was just taking over her mouth and her eye, and it was pushing her jaw across, and it was absolutely horrible. She was barely eating, and then she got to a point where she just couldn't really. She was struggling, so I had to put her to sleep. It was a horrible thing, but it wasn't denial, but it was for a while of how long do I actually keep her alive and how long do I actually keep her for my sake, not hers. But it got to a point when enough was enough. Some of the emotions with denial can be avoidance, so obviously trying to prolong this for as long as possible, and then a lot of confusion of how to actually make this decision and how to actually move forward. Also shock and fear, and both of these were my grandma. She was 95, so it was kind of coming. But when I got the call a couple of days after losing my cat and having such an empty home, having the call that I've just lost my grandma as well. That was awful. So there was a lot of shock there. There was a fear of the uncertainty. And then this leads you onto anger, which then there's a lot of frustration, irritation and anxiety. So these can come in various ways. With both of them, just the sheer helplessness of not being able to do anything about the situation, and the sheer frustration. With Sasha, it's just creates such a void in the house, and the house just feels empty. And it's actually the first video I've done when she's not sat on the back of my chair, which is actually really difficult. So then you move into the bargaining stage, and you're looking to find meaning in this. And with the cat, with Sasha, she brought so much love, so much joy, that she was just wonderful. She was wonderful to be with. And with my grandma, you've got to kind of look at what life she had. She's got children, grandchildren, and you've got to kind of think on how much she meant to us all. And I actually found I'd used the grief to my advantage, and when I found out the day she had died, I wrote how I felt for the eulogy, to actually get the raw emotion of actually how I felt and what she actually meant to me. So then the depression kicks in, and this is where you can feel overwhelmed. You just feel lost. You just feel as though there's nothing you can do. In both situations, it's just, I've got an empty home now, and it's just nothing there to greet me when I couldn't get up in the morning, or wanting fuss when I go to bed. You get up and it's just you're not hearing a meowing for food, and it's horrible. On Sunday, I thought I'd actually been coping pretty well, to be honest, but come Sunday, which was actually yesterday, I just woke up and I was like, bang, and it just felt like I'd been whacked in the face, and I just felt lost. I just felt hopeless. All day I was just completely in a kind of a state of shock, really, and in a state of wow, what next, and just kind of felt numb, which was horrible. Really knocked me for six, feeling kind of a sickly feeling in my stomach, and it was horrible. So hopefully I'm kind of getting over that stage now. So then that brings you into acceptance. And acceptance is exploring options. It's moving on with life. It's putting a new plan into place. So we've got dates for my grandma's funeral, and that'd be a good time to actually say my piece of what grandma meant to me, and actually be able to move on from that. She's never going to be forgotten, obviously, but it's closure. I find peace that when she did die, she actually was trying to reach out for my mum, her son, her husband, and she was saying that she could see them. So, I find great comfort in that she thought, and I believe, that she was going to see her loved ones again. Same with Sash. She's reunited with her sister again. So there's that peace knowing that they're together again. With moving on, obviously you can't replace grandma, she's going to be grandma. But Sasha, she was an old cat, she was 15 years old, and I wasn't planning on getting a replacement as soon as possible, but I always knew I would get another cat. So I've been to the RSPCA, and I'm about to adopt a little 8-month-old kitten, which is hopefully coming. She is hopefully coming over the next couple of days. She's being neutered today, so I can actually move on and start fresh with a fresh little kitten, which is fantastic. So that's kind of the acceptance stage of going, yeah, actually, right, okay, so Sasha died, moving on is giving a new home, a new hope for us in the shape of a new little kitten. So I'm really looking forward to that, and really excited to get to know her. But for both of them, as for me, the memories will last forever, and as always, life rolls on.